Surprise! Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host and founder, LJ Young, and I am here to share my gift. And my gift is that I know a mathematical fact. Let me start it off with saying that. One second. Started off by saying, I now understand a mathematical fact. What is that? Capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. They taught me this in public elementary school, so I don't want you guys to think I'm saying I'm smarter than anybody. I'm outwitted everybody in the world and all that stuff. No, I'm just explaining something that was taught to me in elementary school by my elementary school teacher, Miss Klingensmith. And you know what's so funny about this? And I think that's why. I think now I understand something that I didn't understand as a child. Okay, so I've had many teachers throughout my life, many teachers. Sorry about that. I've had many teachers, and the only teacher's name that I remember is Mrs. Klingensmith, and she was a older lady. She was German, and she had taken a liking to me as a child. I used to always wonder why she was always on me, just like sit by my desk, sit next to me. She was always just on me. And I used to go, why is this lady? Everybody's gonna think I'm the teacher's pet and all this other stuff. But she knew I had a gift. Now that I think about it, and I can only now understand why she was on me like that. Because obviously, if she's an older lady and she understands what gifts are, and then she sees a child, because now today I can see a child that has a gift. It's really easy to see, but you can't really say anything or tell parents or anything. You can't really do anything. But anyway, so anyway, I learned what I'm teaching now from her in public elementary school. So now, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that since the majority of people live on the negative side, they are called debt slaves. Now, debt slaves, since it's psychological, debt slaves do not know they are debt slaves, right? Now, if they just like your credit report is really a owner's ledger. It just keeps track of all the businesses that own you, and your credit scores are nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the owners. What's up, branding woman? With the owners listed on your credit report. Okay, that's it. Now, the majority of you guys are over there. You don't know that you're debt slaves. You don't know that you own nothing. You don't know. And this is part of how it works, right? Because I was a debt slave too. So that's why I'm easily be able to explain it to you, right? Like, and when I say what was taught to me in elementary school, the number line was taught to me in elementary school. Zero in the middle, positive numbers on green, positive numbers in green on one side, negative numbers in red on the other side. They taught us all this in elementary school. Okay. We just somehow forgot after we left elementary school or something. It's the program. It's pretty powerful. No, I respect it. I'm just explaining it, right? Because what I do is bring people from the negative side to the positive side, still participate in the exact same system, but positively. But anyway, uh, so damn, where was I going with that one? Anyway, you guys don't know that you're debt slaves. You guys, you have to ask the bank to buy anything, house, car, phones. You guys don't know that, and you're adults, and you still don't know. Wait a minute. Why do I have to ask permission to buy things? Because it's a psychological thing. You guys think mathematically, you cannot own equity in a mortgaged house, but since you guys are on the negative side, you guys don't know that it's a psychological. So what I do, that's what I do. My business is to help you own the business of yourself, because as long as you're on the negative side, you don't know that you don't own yourself. That's just the way it is. Okay. Nobody's doing anything to you. The system's not holding you down. They all taught us the number line in school. So if you choose not to believe the number line, that's your own fault. It's nobody else's fault. Well, with this knowledge, I now understand something that I saw before, right? Well, we've always heard that the USA is a business. We always heard that, oh yeah, this is just a business, and this and it is. And our social security numbers are the EIN numbers for the business of ourselves. Okay, let me say that one more time. The US is a business. Our social security numbers are the EIN numbers for the business of ourselves, for us, for you right now walking around, breathing. That's the that's that number right there is how you are participating in the business of the United States of America as yourself. You understand what's up, Omanike? Okay. So what I've realized now is this: what the business is, because now, well, let me take a step back. I now understand that capitalism does not work without people, without humans, nothing, because humans are the only people that consume unnecessarily. Okay. So now the business is this: the USA raises unconscious debt slaves. That's our business. We raise, we raise the best. Everybody in the world knows capitalism works the best here. Why? Because we raise the best unconscious debt slaves and out of the entire world, we have millions of them. They all do not know they don't own shit, not even themselves. They don't own nothing. That's what the business is here. We So those, like, people from outside, even people from here and people from outside the world that understand the true purpose of the United States of America, they come here. We have financial laws that you must follow if you're going to do business here. They're all sitting there. Hey, you can make millions and billions or whatever you want, but we got financial rules and laws that you must follow to achieve that. That's fine, because raising millions upon millions of unconscious debt slaves is very expensive. The United States does it the best. Everybody in the world knows that. People that understand what I'm telling you from outside the United States, they come on in and like, hey, we can just go there, we can go to United States, work about open up a successful business, run it really good for about 10 years, stay out of debt. We could be multimillionaires within 10 years. Easy. Very easy. All you got to do is come here and create a successful business and not be in personal debt. They come here, they know that every the majority of people here, like when you walk down the street, when you drive down the road, every house, every car you pass by, 99% of them are bank owned. So everything you hear and see, people talking about equity and how much their house appraised since they purchased it back in 99, and they didn't even buy it in 99. All the people you see, all the cars you see, they are all unconscious. That's why that kind of, let me explain to you now that I can see it. That kind of mastermind thinking, that's, I can't really explain that kind of thinking to have a system. I was born. Listen, I was born into this, so this means it was already here a couple hundred years before I was born. When you don't understand how it works, and you're navigating financially, you're speaking out loud, you're talking about money and this and that. You don't know if you don't know the psychological exist. You don't understand that there's a language also that goes with it. Like, you can't buy a house with a mortgage. You can't buy a car with a car loan. You can't save for retirement while having student loan debt. That's all. That's called psychological speak. Look around you. There are millions of mortgages. 99% of them think they're homeowners, think they own something. That's part of the system. That's why people come from other countries and come here and get wealthy. You know what the majority of them do? They come here, say like they have no money, and say like they do have to get a mortgage, right? When they first get here, right? The first thing they're going to do is pay it off. You pay off your mortgage, you eliminate your largest monthly expense when you first land on US soil. I couldn't even tell you how fast your money will stack. With absolutely no mortgage or rent, the only thing you're paying is yearly taxes. But when you see people standing at their local tax office in the tax payment line, those are called unconscious debt slaves, because they'll leave the tax line and go hop in their car that they're making car payments on to leave from making a payment at the tax office. How, let me, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it in words, honestly. I'm still trying to grasp how would they even start something like this, okay? Because they, like, put it this way, physical slavery, you guys got to understand this. Physical slavery was the business back then. That's how business was done. So somebody had to come up with something saying like, okay, people are capitalism. Okay, there's nothing else around it. Nothing holds value. It's only to us. Like when we think of diamonds, right? Think of a diamond, right? It's only valuable to us as humans. If you show a monkey a diamond, or a lion, or something else, it means nothing. It only means something because somebody told us it means something. You understand? This is hmm, to how to become number one in the world, right? In the world, to raise millions of unconscious debt slaves. They're all separated throughout the United States. Some living in rich areas, some in poor areas, some in middle class areas. All of them have mortgages. None of it means nothing. It doesn't matter where they live. They don't even know that. You can go to Beverly Hills, talk to a person. Hey, do you have a mortgage? They'll say yes. You'll see a driving in a nice car. Listen, all you got to do is go up to a person that has a nice car that you think that looks like they're rich, and you say, "Hey, did you get an awesome interest rate on it or something?" Just say something like that. Debt slaves don't know what you're talking about. If they say yes, they're an unconscious debt slave driving a nice car. That's it, owned by the bank. The reason why they finance cars is because they don't have the money to buy them. To design such a, I mean, we got millions here, millions of unconscious debt slaves. That's the business of the United States of America. That's what we do. Everything, like my life right now is like the movie The Matrix. When I walk around, when I go places, I'm not impressed by cars, what people have on. That that means nothing. If you like, if you have a really nice car and you have a job, I don't need to know anything else. If you're driving an $80,000 car, working 40 hours a week plus, I already know that the car is financed because you have a job working overtime hours. You're working overtime to pay for the car that's always parked at your job. Think about it. Think about it. Dead slaves park their car at work more than they actually drive it. Even that shit. Listen, when I was a debt slave, that didn't even wake me up. I bought a nice car to park it at work for 8+ hours a day. Is that fucking nuts? That's crazy. When I say that shit out loud, that's why I'm even cussing, because I'm mad at myself. When I say that out loud, man, I financed the car to park it at work oh, hell no. That's crazy. And then you got to work overtime to pay for, and then listen, we got the best. Our debt slave, listen, the debt slaves we have here, they finance the taxes. They don't even know. Everybody in the world wants to come here, create businesses. All you got to look around. I want you guys to pay attention. When these foreigners come here, yeah, you see them getting jobs, but what else do you see? They're opening businesses. Let me tell you what they're thinking when they come here to America. First, before they come here, they're probably watching Americans on TV like, oh my God, look at the land of milk and honey. Everybody's rich. And look at all the cars they're driving is nice. Over here, we have to pay for everything in cash. That's why everything is not so nice. And then when they finally get their chance to come to America, and then they find out that 99% of the people don't own shit, they're like, what? They're like, wait a minute. You mean all that stuff we seen on TV? They don't own none of it. None of it. You mean all we have to do is come here, stay out of personal debt, and create a successful business, and we'll be wealthy for the rest of our lives? Yes, that's it. Save money on taxes and all that. Listen, we have millions of unconscious debt slaves that have no idea they cannot reduce themselves in their tax bracket. They don't even know that they can't. You know, they'll say, "Hey, no, that's what it says on paper." Yeah, but does it say it mathematically? No. What you're seeing on paper are the laws of this country that you must follow. That's what you must do. I must do. Everybody must do. Those are the ones you can see. So here, let me give you an example. So when my tax bill or tax whatever is due, and the IRS says, "Hey, you owe X amount," I just reach into the business bank account and pay them with it. You understand? I don't pay it personally. My business pays for that. Pays for that. Do you understand? But when you guys finance taxes, you guys can't see the people. I see the people that come from other countries and they figure it out. I can see it. I can see what they're doing. They're like, Man, all you gotta do is look around. Look into the little strip mall areas. You'll see whole business neighborhood. Man, this is the United States. We are the best at raising unconscious debt slaves like cattle. That is our business. All of them believe they own homes, cars. They think their vote matters. They're debt slaves. Their vote don't mean nothing. You understand? It don't mean nothing. They don't even own themselves and don't even know it. You think their vote means anything? Absolutely not. They don't know nothing. You see them on social media all the time. You see people on social media, hey, I got my ballot. I'm voting. They don't even know who the fuck they're voting for. They're just doing it because their friends are doing it and their other buddies are doing it. So they can post it on social media. Hey, look, I'm down at the polling office and this and that. All you got to do, listen, all you got to do is look at the polling offices. They, they look all run down. Nobody, not really no security there, all just retirees miscounting ballots, raggedy lockbox. All that should tell you. All you got to do is take a step back and look and say, does that look like that means something? Does that look like that's something important? People picking up boxes, moving them. You can't do. Okay, listen. Put out some money. Say like there was hundreds of thousands of dollars. There would be none of that. People still listen. People still hand counting ballots and all that shit. Come on, man. You guys got to wake up. Hey, listen. That's okay. Whatever. I'm here to follow the positive side of capitalism. I don't care how they do it. It was here before I was born. I'm not here to disturb nothing. Hey, listen. I'm just here to do what I do. You want to join the positive side, create generational wealth. I can help you do that. Come on over here. I'll help you do it. If not, you're gonna stay on the negative side until you're dead. The I mean, every time I try to think of a mind to say, hey, okay, slavery is about to end because you can't stop evolution, okay? They knew slavery was coming to an end. There's nothing you can do to stop it. That's what I'm thinking in my brain. But they had to know that probably 25 years beforehand. So they was probably obviously was working on it because they knew not they if you understand nothing stops evolution, you just understand that, okay? So they said, so somebody sat down at a table or something and said, "Hey, we got to turn this physical shit into psychological shit. How are we gonna do that?" I wish I could have been at that table when somebody asked that question and somebody said, "Hey, I'll show you." How, okay, I've been all ears. What? How you? What do you start with? What are you doing? I think they just adopted it from I think Switzerland or something. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Ask AI. That's why Listen, that's why capitalism is the most used type of economy around the world. That's why that is, because it works. It's a When you understand, it's a different language. So I'm gonna give you another example. When I hear people complaining about taxes, I know their debts. When I no, excuse me, when I hear people complaining and getting very emotional about taxes, and then they get all anxiety when they hear the IRS hired 50,000 IRS agents and all this. That means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you're nervous. Because if you were doing what you're supposed to be doing, they could hire a million IRS agents. I wouldn't care. But to see, there's not there's not many of us here that understand this. There's not many. I mean, there must be there must be balance, okay? Because like it's almost think of a car battery, right? If you just hooked up the negative side of the car battery to your car's not going to start. It's not. If you just hook up the positive side and not the negative side, it's still not going to start. You need them both. So there must be. They don't. There doesn't. There obviously does not have to be multi millions of people on the positive side. I don't think it has to be that many. But it must be some people on the positive side, because there must be people that understand it. If I'm even saying that right, it's psychological. That's obvious. Like when I say it's psychological, think about it. Millions of people believe they can buy houses with mortgages. Millions of people believe they own equity in their mortgaged house. Millions of people believe they can retire with student loan debt older than their retirement plans. They all believe it. They believe they're earning interest on their investments, and they're doing and the amounts they contribute to their retirement plan. They're getting a deduction on their. I know it looks like that, but mathematically, that none of that is true. None of it. Let me give you an example so you guys, because I know some of this is confusing because it's psychological. You've never heard anybody say it like this. So here, let me give you an example. I have no debt. I have a job. Say it like I have a job, and I have no debt. I take $5,000 and put it into a retirement plan, and then I'm supposed to be able to take $5,000 off of my annual income for putting into my retirement plan, and all that. So I'm saving $5,000 off of annual income for taxes, right? Not 5,000, but whatever it reduces, whatever that works. It reduces my annual income or my tax bill for doing it, right? Now you say like you have a job too, but you have a car loan. You put in $5,000. You said like you said, okay, I'll put in the same $5,000. Da da da. Everything same happens. Well, if you open up the calculator and put in 5,000 minus your car loan balance, that is and hit equal. You see that large negative number? That is actually how much you have to invest inside of a retirement plan to get to reduce your annual tax bill or whatever. That's how much you have to do that. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, LJ, that's a negative number. I can't invest a negative number into a retirement plan. I know that, but I'm just trying to show you that you can't do that. But if you believe you can, they will let you believe that you can. That's how capitalism works. You believe what you want to believe. Like you see Dave Ramsey's baby steps. At one of his baby steps, he says, "Hey, pay off everything but the mortgage. As soon as you get down to the mortgage, start putting away money into retirement, saving for kids' college fund, and blah blah blah." But if you open up the calculator and put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, you see that large negative number? That's how much money you actually have to do the rest of Dave Ramsey's plan while you have a mortgage. That's how much you actually have. Now, who do you believe, the calculator or Dave Ramsey? It's a choice. What Mr. Ramsey's doing, that's called business. Do you understand? Nothing's wrong with it. It's completely legal. It's a choice. If you believe it, you believe it. Everybody does it. You can't do business without it. if Dave said, "Hey, come back and see me after you pay off your mortgage," Dave would be out of business because 99% of those people never pay off their mortgage. Anything can happen. Listen, you got to think about it. Anything can happen in 30 years. Excuse me. It's crazy. I can't believe when I was a debt slave that I sat down at the bank table and signed some 30-year paperwork thinking I would really understand and believe that I knew my financial future for the next 30 years. That's total insanity when I say that shit out loud. That's crazy. Yes, I'm gonna sign these papers. I promise you guys this amount of money for the next 30 years. I'm not even. I don't even know if I'm going to be married in 30 years. Same job, but I'm signing on the dotted line. That's why I said the U.S. is a business. We raise the we raise the most unconscious debt slaves. They all believe they're living in comfort, driving in nice cars, living in nice houses, living in nice neighborhoods, going to the nice schools, and they don't know nothing, but they're comfortable in it. Isn't that beautiful? They're all comfortable. Solar panels on the roofs, round driveways, 2-story, 3-story houses, big yards, all with mortgages, all of them. Two and you, because you guys cannot, when you drive through neighborhoods, you can't see how many times a person has refinanced that nice house. You guys can't see that. Out here jealous of is when I see when I see cyber trucks driving around, they're finance people. Think about it. This is why I want you to this is crazy. When I see Tesla say, "Hey, you have to put down a deposit 3 or 4 years before you actually pick up your vehicle." Think of all that money, the interest from that money that they get. 90% of those people are putting that shit on a credit card. They don't have the money. Mm. What's up, Robert? Same with car. Anything can happen with a 5-year loan. Anything can happen by financing. It's like this. I think about like this. How did they get debt slaves to believe? I guess they had to come up with an idea, something that could help the debt slaves feel like they're doing what rich people do, because this is the mistake that debt slaves believe. They think they believe money is a look, but what they don't understand is this: when you have money, you can make it look like anything you want. When you have money, you can live in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? You don't. It doesn't mean anything, especially when you understand how the system works. It doesn't. It doesn't matter if I live in an apartment, a house, or It doesn't matter. Thank you, Omanike. To raise millions and then they just pass. I mean, think about it. They all go around and say that same thing. Hey, aren't you tired of renting? The bank probably started that too. Hey, aren't you tired of renting? The bank probably wanted to get rid of the middleman, the landlord, because they say, hey, stop making the landlord rich. The bank probably started all that, because what they're really saying is this: hey, stop making the landlord rich and make the bank rich. Oh man, the bank probably made up all those terms. I remember, I will never forget when I financed this house, man. And I thought, because when you're a renter and you keep hearing these people with mortgages talking about you throwing away money on rent, you really, and they keep saying it, right? They say it enough, you start to believe it. You start to believe that you're actually throwing away money on rent. You really start to believe it. And I remember when I got this house and I said, okay, now I'm a homeowner. I thought to myself, first of all, when I was getting it, I didn't have no money at all to do anything, right? But when I finally got into it, I didn't have. I was expecting this home ownership feeling. All I felt was heavy debt over my head. Because remember, when I'm renting, I didn't have, while renting, I didn't have $350,000 of debt over my head while I was renting. I just had monthly rent. But now, when I got a, when I finally got to become a homeowner, not only did I have a mortgage payment which was the same as rent, I had $350,000 over my head. It was heavy, heavy. I couldn't. I was trying to figure out how come I don't have this magical feeling of being a homeowner, which I'm supposed to have now or something. You just think that. Now that I understand, though, we have we raise unconscious debt slaves. It's like United States is the place to come to become wealthy if you understand that capitalism is psychological. Everybody in the world knows that we have the best debt slaves here because everybody knows capitalism works best here in the United States of America. And when I say best, we have the most unconscious debt slaves here. That's what I mean by best. They believe it so bad, they don't even want to go anywhere. Listen, they really believe everybody wants to come here. But people, trust me, yes, they do want to come here, but because they understand they can come here and become wealthy if they understand the rules and the laws. Like if you're a foreigner, put it this way, if you're a foreigner and you start getting around some Americans talking about, hey, let me teach you how to avoid taxes and let me hide some money and this and that. You're talking to some people that don't understand how it works. You don't want to you don't want to be around people like that. Those are called cheaters. Cheaters mean they don't know how to play. Because once you come to the positive side and you see taxes, you're going to be like, oh shit. That's why they do that and this, and that's how it happens. You're like, oh, okay. It's a good thing that, people just, all you got to listen, all you got to do is just listen to the people. What you can always tell the unconscious debt slaves, just listen to the way they talk about taxes. If you see them get emotional, unconscious debt slave, that's why. They probably got a car payment, probably got mortgages, talk about taxes are high, and they got all this debt. The taxes are high, but the interest rate is higher. All unconscious. So it's like now I actually had this channel was started in a different way, but now it's much deeper than I would ever had thought it was going to go. I didn't I did not realize. I'm like, that makes sense. That's our business. That's what we do, and we keep them unconscious too. But they don't. It's still a choice though. Everybody, I'm gonna repeat this again. Everybody, this in public school was taught the number line: zero in the middle, green numbers positive, red numbers negative. Mm. I was a I was a computer engineer too, man. All I did was work with numbers, IP addresses, subnet masks, all that. But I never used the number line on my finances. Even when I was getting out of debt, you guys, I didn't understand what I was really doing. I thought, okay, cool. I just won't have no debt. Life will be much easier, this and that. No, it's much, much, much bigger than that. I did. You know, and soon to rise, you know what that is? Let me tell you what that actually is, okay? Think of the PPP fraud. This is how this is how debt slaves are purchased, okay? This the banks been in business for hundreds of years. So what they call it a glitch. Only a debt slave would. First of all, it's just a check fraud crime. That's a crime. That's a federal crime, right? So they go and do it. They go and get an amount of money that they've never had in their life. They do the right check or whatever they do. This thing is nothing new, but they just throw it out there. Maybe they wanted to purchase some more debt slaves because once they do it, they write the check, get a felony amount of money, and now they're owned. They're purchased. No different than PPP fraud. People that understand how it works, we don't care if Chase had a glitch and they was tossing out money. We're not going down there. They print they print $100 bill for 8.6 cents. Now let me tell you something. When I looked up the website and I saw that they print $100 for 8.6 cents, I said, okay, I understand the 8 cents, but what is the point six? I don't know how to even say that. Well, that is 6 tenths of a cent. So a penny can be broken up in tenths. I didn't know that until I looked that up because I didn't understand even how to say it. So it's 8 cents, 0.6 I don't even know what that is. I guess that's how fractional they get with it. That's crazy. But to go think about it, say like you go and steal $1,000, 8.6 cents times 10, and you get caught, and you get a felony record for the rest of your life. You probably get some probation, and then all for and then you go 8.6 times 10, which is 10 $100 bills. That's how much you lost. That's how much they purchased you for. Because don't forget, S&B family, money doesn't currency in any form doesn't exist for debt slaves. They don't know it. So when they go out and do the chase glitch, they already know only debt slaves sell themselves for money. They already know that. Everybody knows that. Well, not everybody, but people that understand how the system works. Like when all of a sudden a money truck is driving down the road and a bag of money falls out, and then all of a sudden you're seeing people picking up money. People that understand, we're not stopping to pick up no money. We're driving through the money and keep on going. That's how debt slaves are purchased. You guys understand? It costs a lot of money to keep debt slaves unconscious. It has to. It's got to be very expensive. It's an amazing system. Every day I see more and more. I'm just amazed at how it works and what it, you know, just different things that they do to you guys. It's just different scare tactics, and you guys just flow with it. I'm waiting to see when Kamala is president, because we've seen all this, you know, just before all this, you know, women's right to abortion and all that stuff got taken away and blah blah blah. I'm thinking to myself, wow, they can come in and regulate a woman's body, really? Well, if Kamala becomes when excuse me when Kamala becomes president, she's gonna change all that. There's gonna be a there's gonna be a lot of changes. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. First woman president. I got to see a first black man president. Now I'm alive to see a woman president as well. I know she's not black. Let me make sure. Even though I made a video says she's going to be the first black president, I understand that she's not black. I don't care really. I just said it because the majority need to believe it. That's why they go with it. That's why they flow with it. It's all part of the thing. Debt slaves don't do research on nothing. They don't. All you gotta do is this: listen to the way people say her name. When somebody talks about Kamala, listen to how do they pronounce her name right. If they don't even pronounce her name right, you already know. It's like, wait a minute, you can't even take the time to pronounce her name right. I know you don't know anything about anything. If you're listening to this and you've been following me for years, and thank God you are no longer part of the raising of unconscious debt slaves, that you got out of it. Even if you still working and you got a job and you don't really have a whole but it doesn't matter. I'm talking about psychologically, mentally. The physical part is just going to catch up. Don't get frustrated. Yeah, she's Indian. Don't get frustrated. I want people, just because if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would escape the 40-hour work week program and create a successful business and all that. But you can't give up. You already know you're right in the middle. You can't go back. So there's no going. What you gonna just give up and, oh, okay, I'm gonna go back to 50-hour week work hours week per week? No, you're not. You take all that energy and you keep going, because let me tell you something. It is beautiful over here. When I leave my house and I walk around, I kid you not, people can see it in me, in my face, my skin, my body. They're like, man, dude, what's this dude stopped me in Costco the other day. I'm minding my own business. Stops me in Costco. Hey man, this starts talking to me, and I was like, oh hey, hi, minding my business, looking at some stuff. He's like, man, you just look like you just somebody. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I just stopped because you just look like you're somebody the way you just walking and carrying yourself. But in my mind, I was like, yeah, I already know that. I don't have to say anything. It's not a it's not an ego thing or nothing. It's not. It just is. I would have never in a million years. Like, everybody knows that physical slavery is illegal. Psychological slavery obviously is not. If I was a debt slave and never got out of debt, I would have never known, first of all, that capitalism is psychological. And second of all, that the US is in the business of raising unconscious debt slaves. The best in the world. They don't even listen, they don't even want to leave. You hear me? Our debt slaves love it here so much. And it is, hey, listen, and it is a beautiful place, especially on the positive side. Let me tell you that right now. But our debt slaves on the negative side, they love it here so much they don't want to leave. You hear me? They ain't going nowhere. While the while those of us that live here and understand how it works, we travel, go to all other parts of the world where we know you go to cultures that everything's not about the United States of America when you get outside the country. It's not. You think it is, but it's not. Exactly, soon to rise. I have it on me, man. It's just I don't even know how to explain it. I just know what it is. I don't care what anybody's driving, what they're wearing, how they look. I don't care how fine. Listen, I don't even care how fine a woman looks. If she's in debt, I don't care. She could drive up in a badass car. Say she's a lawyer. She's been working at her own firm for 10 years. I'd be like, "Are you in debt though? Yeah, you still got your college loans. Yeah, so what? You're part of the unconscious debt slaves. You guys don't, and it doesn't matter how they feel about it. I don't care. Oh, LJ, you're an asshole. So what? Just don't say it. You don't have to do it. Do you have to be around me to say it? Say it behind my back when I'm not where around. You think like say like a woman called me ugly. I'll say, are you making car payments? She says yes. I don't care if a debt slave thinks I'm ugly. So what? You're making car payments. I don't care if you think I'm ugly. So what? Good. That means you're not attracted to me, right? Yeah, because I don't want no debt slave attracted to me. I know you guys think I'm joking. I'm dead serious. Dead serious. I had a couple women talk to me like that. It's like, she's like, yeah, I watched your channel. I'm in debt. I'm like, yeah, most of you are. Well, yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Take care. That's it. Yeah, that's it. What's up, Jane? What's up, Owen? Long time no see. Both of you guys. Because you guys like, it's just, hmm. And it just, and we're just born into it. Unconscious death slaves have children, tell them the same thing. Hey, you better build your credit. If you ever want a house, they just repeat the same, just repeat it. I knew when I was a debt slave, I knew I was missing something. I knew I was. I was like, I'm missing a piece, man. Something is missing. I'm not seeing something. What you say, Dark Phobia? You said, debt slaves, whatever they think they are doing, they're actually not doing. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. You're right. They think they're doing it. They think they're like here's an example. When an unconscious debt slave says, hey, I've been at this job for 30 years, and everybody around say, oh wow, they start clapping. When you're on the positive side and you're outside the debt matrix, that's nothing to be happy about. To be 30 years going in and out of the same building, the same door for 30 years. It's not. I promise you it's not. Especially especially at a job you really don't even like. You don't look, put it this way, you don't believe me? Say like you're a person, you come across this channel and you've been at a job for 10, 15 years. Get out of debt. I guarantee you, your whole job will change. Your job will change. Everybody at the job will change because you will listen differently. You'll listen to people say, "Hey, I bought a brand new car, or I bought a brand new house, or I just invested in retirement." While you know they just bought a car, just financed a car. You know they're not doing anything, and the majority have jobs because they're in debt. You won't let your job or your manager disrespect you anymore. They won't be talking negative. They won't be talking down to you. Like, you won't even allow any of that. Everything is going to change. Everything will change. You will never take your job personally anymore. You'll be like, this is a business, period. Just got my car at the shop with 200,000 miles on it. Repair was 1,000. Not bad when you own the. That ain't nothing. Exactly. Hey, soon to rise. Now you divide that by 12 months. That's how much you pay per month to fix that car. You said that over a year ago when I started dating again and asked the debt question to women, my views of them changed. I saw them differently. It like it killed my long term attraction. Exactly. You know what? I try to I try to share my experiences with you guys because if you just hear it, like say like you're out on a date, you're just out in the world and everybody's like, hey, this is how you gotta date a person, this and that. They gotta be here from this type of family. No, you don't have to do none of that. None of that. All you gotta be is like, are you in debt? Because you gotta remember all the people like to impress on the first date. So they're gonna roll up with a nice car, oh, I went to this college, I own my own home. And this is all over the phone. So, because before there's a dinner date, before there's any date at all, there's phone conversation. So, when you're on the phone and you're talking to these people and they're mentioning all this stuff and you find out they have debt, you're not even going to go on a date because it'll be a waste of time and money. It's not going anywhere. So many debt slaves are we're sinking deeper into. Oh, yeah, yes, they are. You're right. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm seeing a lot of new cars on the road. I'm like, you guys are not buying these cars in cash. You're not doing it. I know you're not. James says it's great. It's great to be on the positive side. My psychology has shifted completely. Okay, I'm starting to get into the stock market. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, with this knowledge too. Yeah, it's been a solid time so far. I bet. And you know what's so crazy, James? I talked about this a couple years back. I said, man, if you have this knowledge on the positive side and you get into the stock market, you could change the game. You could do some things up in there, man. You could because you'll know who to pick, who to talk to. You know exactly who to. I would just say like I wanted to get into the stock market. I would find a debt-free investor that's been in the game for years and he's debt-free. I'll talk to that person, he or she, he or she. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. Thanks for making that I the reason. What you say? Thanks for making that I the reason why you have a job. Video. Oh, yeah, that video. Got it. Got it. Open my eyes. I've made so many videos, man. I got to go back and check it out. By the way, I'm looking at you guys' comments on the phone because I went down and bought a new Mac yet. I'm just procrastinating. I need to get a new Mac. I see it the same. It does shift your mindset. It does completely because I really want you guys to understand this. Okay, capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. This is a mathematical fact. It being a mathematical fact makes it true. So when you when you hear me say you can't buy a house with a mortgage, I'm speaking psychological. When you hear me say that, you guys understand what I'm saying. Debt slaves do not understand what I'm saying. Think about it. They have mortgages and then they have HOAs on top of that. It doesn't even make any sense. They accept it all. They go own. They think they own a property, but then they got a committee over them telling them what they can and cannot do with their property. That means you don't own the property if somebody's telling you what you can and cannot do. It's crazy. But I understand though. This is how it works. Like if the banks denied everybody mortgages, if they had student loan debt, you know how bad that would hurt the housing market? They can't tell them that. That would hurt the housing market. Oh yeah, you can't get a mortgage. Why? Because your student loan's 25 years old. They can't tell them that. That means everybody in houses right now, that cannot happen. When I see what the bank does, that is just amazing what they do. They just create money out of thin air. I mean, then again, no currency exists for debt slaves anyway. So when it goes, put it this way, when it goes, you guys can already see it transitioning into digital currency already. Now tips are all digital. Tips are all digital. You know, this was so funny. Like you gotta really follow what they do to debt slaves. Like they move they move the tips up from 15% up to 20%. And then they got other debt slaves. Oh, you're cheap if you go out and don't tip. And then they feel pressure to tip. They all do that amongst each other. Then they push each other and everything they pay for is with a credit card. So they're financing the meals and they're financing the tips at the interest rate of their credit card, all because of the pressure of others thinking you're cheap. And I don't I don't care if when I go out, I'll tip if I choose to tip, and I'll tip how much I want to tip. I don't let some machine dictate how much, it'll roll to where they think it. No, it's going to roll where I want it to roll. I don't care if anybody's looking because I had one time I went to this Mexican restaurant. Luckily, I liked the lady. I didn't really care, but she had this handheld POS device, right? So she could just take my card right at the table and print out the receipt right there. But when I went to pay, she said, "Okay." She came over. She said, "Okay." I said, "I'm ready to go." Okay. She came over, gave me handed to me the machine. Well, the first thing that's on the machine while she stands there is the tip. How much of the tip I'm gonna leave? Why was she standing there, right? But luckily, she did awesome service, so I just gave her the tip that she deserved. But that right there will put people under pressure. Oh my God, they're gonna think they're gonna think I'm a bad person if I don't tip them. And they gave some horrible service. I don't tip people but do you know there are people that still tip people that get horrible service? Are you fucking crazy? And then you put it on a credit card. You finance the tip that you didn't really want to give to a person that gave you horrible service. That's unconscious debt slaves. We are obviously the best at raising unconscious debt slaves. Obviously, they all do not even own themselves, and their credit report proves it. You know what's so crazy? I believe, and somebody, maybe I'm wrong, and somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I believe I am the only person on the internet that has shown my entire credit report on a live on YouTube. I've never seen anybody else do that. Nobody. And I try to tell people, how come I'm the only person on the internet that has done it? How come? There's a question. I realize so people love being debt slaves. I have a relative that got 30 school oh her 30 school loan get forgiven and is now enrolled back in the school and getting out another school. Oh my oh my God. And see, I want you that's that's part of the program. They don't know what it's like to be free. They don't know. Whatever I place on a credit card will be paid off before the due date for sure. That's for the people that know. Only for the people that know. Your credit card company knows, my credit card company knows. They all know. That's part of the program. Pop from uptown. That's part of the program. They don't know. That's crazy. At 49. I remember I used to think too, I used to say, man, education is the only thing that's going to get me to make more money. No, it's not. You could create your own business and make unlimited amounts of money. I used to always think about only a higher paying job. Let me tell you something. When you are no longer an unconscious debt slave, you come to the positive side, and this is for the S&D family members too. When you get out, when you finally break the 40-hour work week completely, and you looking back at a job and hourly wages, it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. And all I gotta, and to kind of give you an idea, just Google how much Amazon makes an hour or something, right? Just say, how much did, Amazon make in 2023 or something, right? And just break it down 12 months, blah, blah, blah. Break it all the way down if you can't get the answer. And then when you see how much they make an hour, and then you compare it to how much you make an hour, that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see, you're going to see an hourly wage truly for what it is. And that's the best example I can give to you. So I can have you guys see and understand when you free yourself, it's basically unlimited. You just got to figure it out. And you, man, you see what listen, hourly wages minus taxes and everything else, all because you're using yourself to participate in our economy. That's why. You have this knowledge in your 20s and your 30s, and you fully understand what America is. We raise unconscious debt slaves. That's our business. That's what we do. People come here to become wealthy, but they have to pay us to use our debt slaves. When you come here to become wealthy, you have to pay us to use our debt slaves because we raise them. You don't get to come here, not follow the financial laws, not pay taxes, and use our debt slaves and become wealthy. You can't do that. Raising debt slaves and keeping them unconscious has to be very expensive. To keep them believing that they own something, that some representative of the country or the state or is going to help them change lives or so. Who knows? When you see those presidential dinners and a dinner costs about $30,000 a plate, debt slaves, you guys are not in those rooms. I promise you that. And you're like, 30,000 a plate. Well, that's what they're saying, but it's not really for the plate. You think it's the food cost 30? No, the food don't even cost $30,000. Then what's the $30,000 for? Don't worry about it. You don't have it. If you're making car payments, you're not getting in a room with $30,000 food plates. You're not going in there. The people in there, they don't have jobs. That money's that money's doing something. I don't know. You'll never know. Neither will I. I would have never saw that in a million years. Never. I would have never. seeing that that's what we do. And this shit's been going on for hundreds of years. It doesn't matter the year. Doesn't even matter the year. Capitalism is based on dead slaves. Based on it. Like let me give you an example. Especially for the young people, for the young kids. You know what I've been seeing a trend of? Young debt slaves doing their lives from their factory jobs and like Amazon warehouses. Let me tell you something, young people. If you're listening to this and you're doing that, that's why you have that job. Because you're doing lives while you're working. You're doing other things other than what they're paying you for. So they're gonna put you there. That's why you're doing that job. And you keep doing that, you're gonna have that job for a very long time. You're gonna be doing that same type of work. Sometimes I'll see on social media, you guys will be working and then bend down, look at the phone, see what people are typing and writing. They're not paying you for that. I'm seeing a lot of you guys do that shit. I'm like, you guys don't think your job, they hire people to follow social media to see which one of you guys are doing that so they could just fire you. I mean, you guys be following each other doing the same stuff. And I'm thinking, that's why you have those jobs. That's why you're making that much, you doing that much physical labor for that little bit amount of money. That's why you have that job doing a live at your job. And you guys are broadcasting to the world what you're doing. But you're new when you're young, you're brand spanking new to capitalism. So you're just being formed. You don't even know. Let me see if I can. Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Guests, invite guests, copy. 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can do it on the phone here. 1 second. Post a comment. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, there's the link there, Owen. Oh, fears, FEARS, false evidence appearing real psychologically. Let me know if that link work, Owen. I'm gonna try to do this on my phone. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see it, Owen? Well, we're gonna see. All right. Well, while we wait for that, I just like to come on here and just share these moments that are just eye opening for me sometimes. Just uh, I can't even hear or see you. I don't know what's happening here. I clicked on it. Can you hear me? Nope. Oh wait, just a second. Just a second. Okay, I gotta. Okay, Owen, add to stage. Uh,
There, I think it's working. Can you
okay.
hear me?
Now let's see if I can hear you. Can I hear you? I can't hear or see you.
What about now? What about now, LJ? Can you
Let
hear
me
me?
see. Remove from stage. I don't know. Shit. I'm on my phone, Owen, and I can't. It's really difficult to do it. I don't think I've done it. Let me see. Let me do it one more time. Let me see. Okay. At the stage. Oops.
All right, can you hear me,
Oh, I
LJ?
don't hear anything.
Nothing? This is so weird.
Oh, you guys here? Is it me? Shoot. It might be me. Just a second. Let me see if I can. 1 second. It might be me.
Okay.
1 second. Because I got this thing on. And I think the mic is. 1 second. Ugh. I should have been prepared. 1 second. Oh, everybody can hear Owen except me. Damn it. All right, just a second. Let me get these things out. Let me try this Bluetooth thing. Everybody can hear but me. Okay, you guys can hear me or no? I mean, can I?
I can hear you, LJ.
You guys can hear? Well, you guys, I guess it's just me. I cannot hear. Wait, let me get to the mic. Let me see. Let me see settings, audio. All right, 1 second here. That's the mic. No, it ain't working. All right, guys, I'm sorry. It ain't working for me. I can't hear you guys at all.
Maybe another time then.
Damn it. Sorry, Owen. I really wanted to hear what you had to say. Crap. All right, I guess we're gonna get it next time, I guess, because I cannot hear. Oh, now I can see him too. Let me unplug this stuff. 1 second. Let me unplug this stuff.
All right.
All right, now I can. Okay, here we go.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I had to unplug my mic and stuff. It wasn't allowing me to do the normal stuff with my mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Pop from Uptown said exactly what I just did. Okay, cool. All right, so what's going on? What happened? What's happening?
Well, it's part of that debt slave, right? I mean, as you know, I'm debt free, but I was still working a corporate job, right?
Okay.
And Wednesday, they call us in for a meeting. So I go in, and the management let us know that the company will be dissolving.
Oh.
So I won't. So after October 3rd, I won't have a job.
Okay. And you guys didn't know this was coming?
Not really. It was kind of a surprise, but with my position that I do, I have the ability to like look at the financials.
Right.
So some of the financials I had seen,
Uh-huh.
when I saw them, I thought, ooh, those aren't good. But we're going through this process of trying to turn everything around. So
Right.
I was just trying to stay hopeful that things will be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at least I still have a job for another month. And what I've been doing, immediately what I started doing is looking for
Another
jobs to
job.
apply for in my field.
Right.
Because the biggest thing is, I'm a diabetic. type
okay.
one diabetic, so I definitely
Oh,
like need insulin, and I've
hmm.
always had health insurance to cover that.
Ah,
Um,
gotcha.
so as soon as I heard that, that was kind of my, as I said, sort of my fear
Uh-huh.
is going without health insurance.
Right, right.
Um, but then just today, I, you know, in the little moments of clarity, I kind of thought to myself, well, what if this is the moment to
Hmm.
kind of do what you had done and make
Hmm.
my own business?
Hmm.
Um, I thankfully I have no debt. I have I have a little over $10,000 in savings, and
Nice.
um, my company, I will get a severance package,
Nice. Okay.
basically like around middle of October, and that should be about $20,000.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay.
that's where part of me is, thinking maybe, even like I don't know what the healthcare thing will be. Maybe my insulin will just cost more, but
Hmm.
maybe again, this is the time to kind of do pull an LJ and like have my time, for at least a month or two, and really just allow myself to get out of that environment, because searching and applying for the jobs in my field, currently I work remotely, but a
Hmm.
lot of the jobs I've been applying for and seeing, they are all, the majority of them are hybrid or full in office.
Right.
And, just like you,
Hmm.
I don't want to go back to a damn office. Not even for one day. If it's for
Right.
like,
Yeah.
if it's for like an hour or two for a meeting or something, all right, that's
Uh-huh.
fine.
Uh-huh.
But to be in there all day, it sounds torturous. And then not only that, but a lot of these jobs are located in, they're like in Chicago or New
Mm.
York or the LA
Oh,
area,
yeah. Mm.
or there's a couple in Colorado or Missouri, and
Hmm.
nothing against those places or the people there, but I don't want to. I don't want to move. Uh,
Right.
so I'm like, again, part of me is thinking like this is my time to start owning myself, and the other part of me still has that fear and that idea of like, hey, you need to go get a job. You like can't be without a job.
Right. Well, put it this way. You know what? Sometimes the universe forces you to make a move because you won't do it if it don't force
Mhm.
you to do it.
Mhm.
And this is you're debt free. You got money in the bank. You don't really need to worry about anything insulin, and you'll figure. Trust me, you'll figure that out. You'll figure out there's different ways to get it at a say like you're jobless. Hey, I need insulin and I have no job. There's programs for you for people that have no jobs.
Mhm.
That, but remember, you're debt free. You say you having no job is different than a regular person having than a person in debt having no job, but you get the same benefits as a person like that. See what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
for you, it's helping you because it's going to cost you less because you're debt free paying it with no job. So it's going to be reduced. You'll figure out ways, I promise you. And these are the opportunities, fears, false evidence appearing real psychologically. The the 40-hour work week and the debt matrix, all that stuff, is not going to let you go easily. It's going to
Oh,
thaw all these fears and scare you. What about this one? What about that? This might happen and that. All the stuff that's nothing has nothing to do with anything.
oh yeah, I feel its claws digging into me.
Yep. And I think this is the opportunity because I remember in the same scenario, I was panicking. I needed a job. I was applying, but I was getting turned down. The jobs were far away. It was just everything was telling me, no, wrong direction. So finally, I just accepted it. I said, you know what? that's for me not to go that way. And I was right. I was
Mhm.
right. And it sounds like the same thing with you. Just there's no rush. You got money in the bank. You got no debt. You're about to get another 20. You could relax for two months if you really want to. You don't really have to do anything. You could just enjoy it. Kind of think about something, there's no rush.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
You know, I keep track of my expenses, and obviously without having a job, it's like, all right, well, I just won't, you know, I go to a restaurant a couple of times a month, maybe. So it's like, okay, I just won't go out to eat. Uh,
Right.
and I'll walk more and drive a little less. Um, so that's part of that
But
thought.
even
And
but even debt free, you don't really have to do any of that. I mean, you can just to be, more careful about it. But
then,
you got to remember everything when you go out to eat, you're paying with real money. Okay. Don't forget that. Everybody else is financing it. So it's a difference in cost for you, really. So you
yeah,
really don't have to be like that. That's just old debt matrix stuff. You know, that's all that is.
yeah, that's what I keep like having to tell myself because I'm sure you may probably went through this too. You start thinking about it a lot, and at least for me, my chest starts to get a little tight. You
Yes.
know,
hmm That's the debt matrix not want to let you go. It's all psychological. What you should do is this: just take it. Don't think about it at all. Just take a month or two off. Don't do nothing. Just think about when you wake up. Decide what you're going to do for the day when you wake up for a month.
okay,
Do whatever you want. When you wake up that day and say, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna sleep all day. I'm gonna walk and do, just wake up and do just whatever comes to mind. So you can I want you to get used to what life is really that's how my life is.
hmm
I got my businesses. I take care of that stuff, but the majority, I just whatever I decide to do that day.
I might sleep for a whole week then.
Yes, you probably will. When I
Because
first quit my job, I slept for like 3 months straight.
hmm
I felt like I was lazy. Oh my God, I feel like a bum. Everybody else is getting up in the morning, taking off of work. And then finally when I broke it, I was like, oh shit, my brain needed that. My brain needed that sleep.
hmm
And then once I got enough sleep, my brain was like, okay, that's enough. Let's start doing some stuff or thinking of some stuff or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, just getting some sleep alone will probably help me get over
Oh
these
yeah.
fears. Because especially last night, or
hmm
like the last couple of nights,
Uh-huh.
I've gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep. I'm lying there, I'm just like thinking, and I'm worried, and then I wake up early. I'm wide awake. I can't go back to sleep, and then I just think, all right, I gotta start trying to find a, that's been my thought is like, all right, I just got to start finding a job and like finishing up my last little things with my current job before that's fully done and finalized. Um,
And you really ain't got nothing to worry about. That's all. When that pops up in your brain, you got to it's very difficult. You got to be conscious of it and aware of it. That
mhm.
when it's just a fake fear that doesn't exist for you because you're debt free with money in the bank. You can relax. You don't, that's not true. When the fake fear comes into your mind, you just turn to it and say, none of that is true. I don't have to hurry. There's nothing I have to do right now. I'm not in debt. I don't really have to pay anything. Nothing's due. Nothing's gonna come due. And just relax and sleep. Your brain is gonna thank you. When you let your brain get that sleep that it needs, ideas are gonna come to you. Things that you didn't see before is gonna come to you. You just the put it this way, the brain working 40 hour, I can tell you from personal experience, working 40 plus hours a week for years of 20, 30 years. I didn't realize that until I stopped, and then and my brain got enough sleep. I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing. This is what my brain has been begging for. Good sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
I get unbelievable ideas and everything just come to me now.
I will work harder on, like you had said, just not thinking about it, and then when that fear pops up, just saying, "Hey, you're not real. Go away."
Correct. Be aware of it. This is the thing. When it pops in your mind, it's a thought. Okay. Thoughts. We cannot control the thoughts that come into our mind. They just come in, just from environment or whatever. Right. So, but me today, I'm always aware when thoughts come into my brain. They'll come in. I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that, and then it'll just go away. Even if a fake fear comes in my brain, nope, that's not true. And then it just goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to you, you're new. It's not going to let you go. It knows it still has you more than normal. So it's probably going to pound you with them because this is your first time doing this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It for sure is. Like,
I can hear it. I can hear it. I was there. I can hear it in your voice. I can feel what you're feeling in your body. I know all that. I was afraid too, but now that I'm thank God I'm out. Thank God. I'm fear. I get fear goosebumps going back. That's what gives me fear. A job gives me fear.
yeah, that. See, I like you said, I know I'm new to this, and I just got to work through it.
Correct.
And that idea of it's so weird to think that there's comfort in going back to a job.
Right. Exactly. That's just the program. Like what you're feeling. This is another good thing too. Right. Write what you're going through down. Write it down. Record it. However you want to do it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This will be good for you later on as you grow. It'll help you determine your growth time, if that's the best way to say it. Write down all your emotions, what you're going through. This is what I do. I'll write down. I used to do this all the time. I have my Google Calendar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when certain things are happening, I'll go in there until the date, go into the note area, and write down a whole bunch of stuff that I'm feeling, doing, or whatever. And then I'll set a reminder, say, remind me every year. So when the next year comes and that thing pops up, wherever I'm at during the year, and then I read where I was at when I wrote that, it'll give me how far I've progressed.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to feel like that, or I was talking like that, or whatever. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I definitely have plenty of. Well, I mean, I have my computer. I could very easily record it, but also I've every now and then I will like basically journal. Write down my thoughts, kind of.
It's easier with the phone because you want to do it when, sometimes these things will pop up in your mind and you want to you want to write it down quick before you forget it, or just record it, or, and it's most likely going to have your record button somewhere on the beginning of or the front of your phone.
Okay.
So if it pops up, you could just hit the record button and just say it real quick so you don't forget it.
Okay. Yeah.
And you never know, that might turn into a book that help others trying to escape the matrix. What did you do, Owen? What do you know? You'll have all your notes and everything you said or felt or whatever, right? To use to help some other people. That's gonna, because it's too late. You're debt free now, so there's really no going, because you already said it. You're like, oh my God, they're going to talk about bringing me back into the office. Oh, that's horrible. You're already talking like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You already know there's no going back. So you basically have to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I stayed at the job I'm at that I'll be eventually losing.
Mm-hmm.
They let me stay remote long after COVID, and I thought, hey, like, still being in a job, it's like, oh, they let me stay remote. Like, this is
Right.
pretty great.
Right.
So yeah, even worse, a little even worse when it's like, oh, I have to go get a new job, and they want me to go back and move elsewhere, and I got to think about all this stuff. Yeah,
I
like
think
you
they're
said,
forcing. I think they're forcing a lot of people back to the office, aren't they? That's what I've been seeing.
that's what I've seen. I was kind of hoping, it wasn't true, because for the most part, I really enjoy the field that I'm in. Um, and especially and the fact that most of the time that I've been in this field, I've actually been remote. To me, it's weird not only to not be doing it remotely, but that they want everyone to come back in. It's like, these people can do that job without having to be in at the office.
Right. But they can't. They can't. The reason why they bring because they want to. They have control, more control over you when you're back in the office. That's what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why people like the remote, because you have freedom. That's what you really want. You want the freedom. That's what it really is, and that's the goal that you're really trying to achieve. You want
Yeah.
freedom.
Oh yeah. I think I had mentioned this to you when you drove on through. We
Mm-hmm.
got food.
Yeah.
For the most part, I could get away from my desk whenever I wanted, for however long I wanted, reasonably. But no one was checking in on me. I could go walk my dog for an hour in
Mm-hmm.
any of the nearby parks, and it was beautiful. Uh,
And so do that for the next month or two. Just wake up, do what you just told me. It'll help you inspire. Like, I want to keep this. This is how I want to live. Because that's what I did. I started uh, when I first quit. I panicked a little bit because, again, the fears, the job, the debt matrix. Am I going to ever make six figures again? All that was running through my brain. But I was like, you know what? Let me get up and go to Starbucks in the morning at 9 a.m. and just sit there and read a book and drink coffee while everybody's rushing to get to work, and watch the people rush in. Hurry up, I need to get a coffee. I need to get on out of here. I'm just going to sit there and just watch them because I
mhm,
want to live my life like this and not like that. And that's what I
mhm.
did. I started just putting it in my mind.
Okay.
Do whatever brings you joy, just like you're telling me, walking the dog, the parks, anything that brings Owen joy, do it and say, you know what? I want to keep this. What can I do? And then it'll just start developing. It really will.
Yeah, and talking with you, I guess it's made me realize another thing that I think I was kind of has been wanting me to get back to a job is 401k. So what
Mm.
I had started doing this year is my plan was to max out my 401k,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on track to do it. So then obviously this happening, it's like, well, crap, how am I gonna be able to continue investing? But I think maybe you've said this in a live before, that if you have a successful business, you don't really have to worry about investing in a 401k or anything like that, because you have a business that's like just
Right.
making you money,
You'll
right?
be investing in yourself. And then
Yeah.
when it starts making money, and then you're like, oh, I got it. Then taxes starting to change, and then you're like, oh, this is why I need to do a 401k now, because it's going to help me. There's different scenarios in business.
Hmm.
But you're creating your own retirement. That's what you're really doing.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing it. You don't need some physical thing to do it. You can do it yourself.
Yeah. it was just now talking with you that that even popped in my mind, because again, it's like, oh, 401k through the job, like that's how I do it. I need to have a job. I'm completely forgetting, like, I don't need to have a job.
Correct.
I just, like with what you're doing or lots of other people are doing, I just need to have a successful business.
The fear of not having a job is part of the program. I need to get a job. I have to have a job to have a 401k. I have to have a job. That's all part of the program. You can't do nothing without. You can't survive without a job. You can't do nothing without it. That's what the program is to tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
So just relax. What you should do in this situation, accept that the universe is forcing you out of this particular job or whatever. You're about to get 20,000. Relax. Just take a month and just don't do anything. Don't think about job. Don't think about a business. Don't think about what you're going to do to make. Don't think about nothing. See what it feels like just to not participate in that stuff for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels good. It feels wonderful. I've been out of it for a while. I don't even pay attention to any of it, but it takes a minute. You gotta do it slowly because you've been in it for years. So it's just like it's no different than any habit of a physical drug habit. But it's psychological. It's just as strong.
It might be the strongest thing I've ever felt.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right here. See, here's like Cosmic. She's a business owner right there. See, there's all kind of things as a business owner. You can do these type of 401ks. There's different, but you got to first before even looking at or even thinking about what she's talking about. You must physically escape first.
Mm-hmm.
The psychological part, you must escape first. That's the hardest. That shit was hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat and say it was easy for me because it's definitely not. I was like, oh my God, am I ever gonna make six figures again? What about all this college education I spent all this money on to get a computer engineering degree? I'm just flushing it down the toilet. All that fake fear crap was trying to scare me.
Mm-hmm.
I just pushed through it because I knew I was free, so there was no going back. So I had no choice but to go forward.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd had a somewhat of a similar thought of like, while still on the track of trying to get a job, my thought was, well, I'll work hard at trying to find a job, but being able to keep what I have, keep being remote, stay where I am, not being forced to move other places. And it's like, that's I guess even more showing me just how hung up I am, like you said, on the job, how
Mm-hmm.
programmed it is for me to think that I have to have this job to continue on with living.
And see how you're just talking and see how you're talking about it. You recognize all of this is part of the process. You're just recognizing it as you're talking to me about it. You're just saying what it is, exactly what it is. You're saying it. You just slowly talk. You got to talk your way out of it and do all the stuff that you have to do because I did all that. You got to recognize it when the fears come in your brain, keeps you up, preventing you from sleep. It's all fake. None of it's real. You're debt free. You're not like you're not like everybody else that just lost their job, but they're deep, deep in debt. That's a whole different kind of fear right there. You don't have none of that.
Yeah, I said that to a bunch of so when I was at my company and they gave us the announcement,
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 or 5 people, they're all like, so sorry, Owen, are you gonna be okay? And my first thing I said was like it hadn't fully hit me, but I was like, I'm okay because I don't have any debts. Like I said that to him, like I have no
Uh,
debts. Thankfully, the only person or thing relying on me is my dog. That's the only
right,
thing, and he's thankfully pretty cheap. He doesn't cost a lot. So
right,
and I said, yeah, if I had a family, like a wife and kids,
right.
totally different feeling.
Car payments, mortgages, all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. And what about everybody else? Were they looking all panicky and sad or whatever? Were they trying to push it off on you, or how were they trying to?
The people that talked to me looked like they were trying their best to sort of
Keep it
smile.
together. Got it.
But everyone else that got the same news that I saw walking around,
Uh
it looked like you had just told them their whole family died.
huh. I bet. I bet.
Just the look on their face, and I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder what is going through them right now, and what debt they have that's
Right.
just starting to already eat them alive.
Exactly. It starts as soon as they give you that announcement at the job. Can you imagine? You the rest of your rest of your day is done. That's it. Once you hear that news, and then you gotta keep working for the company that that you're about to be fired from, but they know you're gonna continue to work because you still got to get money from them. So they know you got to keep working. It's crazy.
Yep. And some of the people, they due to the nature of our business, they'll eventually be let go, but
Mhm.
they have to stay longer. So some of them will be still around for
Mm.
half a year. Some of them will still be around for up to 15 months, the management said. So now thinking about that, I couldn't imagine still being at a job for 15 months knowing basically the end date, but that
Right.
you have to work there
Right.
unless they find something else. But
Right. But they ain't got no choice because if they're in debt, they have to stay there, and I'm sure they're looking for another job while this is happening. But they have to stay there because they need the money. You don't. You can relax. I suggest you do that if you can. It's going to be hard, but you got to force it. Just relax. You don't really got to do anything.
mm, gosh, okay, yeah, no, I'll. It sounds silly to say to work hard to relax, but
No,
I'll,
don't. And even with that, Owen, don't even say terms like, "Hey, it sounds." No, everything you're doing is what I went through. Nothing silly. It's it's what you got to go through to the break out of it. It's not going to let you go easy. It's not going to let you go easy.
okay. No, yeah, thank you, LJ. I appreciate your time and uh, everything that we've talked about here.
You're welcome,
Definitely
sir.
it's
You're welcome.
definitely given me a different. It's helped me think about this whole thing differently, and like you said, I think it will really help me. It will really help with the nerves because just initially I think like you said, you could sense it initially talking about all this with you. It's that tightness, that nervousness.
Hmm.
Uh, but just doing what you said, I think will really help. Really help.
What I'm telling you is you're not going to get. I don't think from anybody else because you're debt free, and so I'm giving you information from a debt free perspective that only a debt free person can give you that you need at this particular moment. That's why this information is so rare because you need somebody to say, "Hey, those are fake fears."
Mhm.
Ignore them. And, well, not many people understand any of that.
Yeah, you're the only person I know
Hmm.
that was a debt slave and became debt free.
Exactly.
And I only have one friend, my high school buddy.
Hmm.
He's never been a debt slave,
Right. So he
so it's totally different experience.
totally different. Totally different. You're right. You're exactly right. He doesn't know what you're going through right now because he's never been in it. So he can't even give you the right answers because he don't know the fear that you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're out of it, Owen, and you're still way young, trust me, way young, you're you're gonna feel empowered because you did it. You did something that's millions of people believe it's impossible. I mean, first of all, you got to even know it exists to achieve it. Let me make sure that's clear. You're achieving something that millions don't even know that they need to achieve.
Yeah. No, you.
They don't even know the 40-hour work week is a program, that a job they don't even know that. And you're about to break it. You just got to go through it. Everybody, nobody gets a free ride, Owen. I'm sorry about that. Nobody gets a free ride. Everybody got to go through it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and I, I think I don't know. I think, like you had said, I just need to, I guess, also have some belief in myself of being able
Mm,
to be able to go through with it. To
hmm,
know that, like, hey, you can go 2 months with no job, and the world's not gonna end.
mm-mm.
My personal world, it's not gonna end if I don't work for 2 months. It's gonna
Correct.
be fine. It'll still be here. Um,
Yep. I was forced. I was basically forced, but I'm glad I was getting denied with jobs. Nobody would hire me. It was weird how it was happening because none of that ever happened to me in my life, you know? And then finally I just accepted them, like, because that's not the direction I'm supposed to be going. And once I accepted that, everything started just flowing the correct way. Because deep down, the universe knows you don't want that. I can hear it in your voice. You don't want to be trapped in no building, released on lunch hour, maybe 30 minutes, whoever, you
mhm.
don't want any of that. I can hear it. I can actually feel it because I
being
know that feeling.
being a part of traffic again,
Yes.
not
Yes.
just happening to be in it. That's a thought that had crossed my mind the other day. I was like, man, I love that I just happen to have to be in traffic, but it's not.
Right.
I'm not a part of it.
Correct. Yeah. Just the way you're talking too. You just know there's no going back. I can just hear the way you're talking now, Owen. There's no going back. So you just got to relax. Just don't do anything. Try your hardest not to think about it. Do only the things you enjoy. Walk more with your dog. Come home. Don't do shit. Don't do nothing if you don't want to do nothing. Just just enjoy it. You're not lazy. You just got to break it. That's all. Get
I will.
enjoyment of listening to people get up in the morning, warming their cars up, getting ready to go to work, and you're not going nowhere. It's an awesome feeling.
I will. I will. I'll give you a 2 month update. Tell you how
Yeah,
I'm doing.
please do, man. Please, and you know what? Like I said, reach out to me when you go, and I mean this, okay? When you go through a moment, or you know, and it happens, all right. Don't feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. If you need to reach out to me, reach out to me because
Okay.
I do understand that you can't really go, you can't ask anybody else.
Oh no, I no for sure. I thought about talking about all this with my parents, and I love my parents, but
Mm,
they're still debt slaves.
mm, mm.
And so I know that they would have no idea how to like navigate this.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. You are exactly correct. And there will be moments, man. Just like I said, if you get one of those moments, just reach out to me and I'll give you the advice that you're looking for because I went through it.
Thank you. I definitely will. No, you will definitely hear me. I'll try not to reach out too much.
No, just I just want you to make sure that it's not none of it's stupid or silly or just it's you're in the unknown right now. That's what it is. You're in the unknown. It's scary. There's no videos for it. There's no books. It's because it's psychological. Until my book come out, and then there'll be a book for it.
I can't wait to read that book.
Oh man, I'm excited to write it. I'm still finishing up a couple of things in my life right now that will be ready for the book, and once it's ready, I'll be ready.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, thank you, LJ, for allowing me to come on and talk about this, because like you had said the last couple of days, it's like who the hell do I talk to? And then when I saw that you were live still, I thought, okay, I've got to reach out.
And maybe that's why. That's how the universe works sometimes. I'm telling you, man, that's how it works. Because you know me, I don't come on as much as I used to at all. But I just happen to come on tonight, and you're available, and happen to be this particular scenario, and voila.
Okay.
So you're good, man. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You're good.
All right. Yeah. No, thank you. I did really need to hear that. I appreciate it, LJ.
You are welcome, sir. Very welcome.
So yeah, I'll just finish with saying again, thank you for being on. Thank you for allowing me to come on here, talk about all this, help me get clarity.
Yeah.
I guess I'll step away for now and let you get back to what you were
no problem.
talking about before.
No problem. I'll wrap it up here. No, this was good. Stuff like this is meant to happen. Because I knew what I was doing starting this channel, because I didn't want to be, because I was in your situation right now with absolutely nobody to talk to. I didn't even know what questions to ask because I didn't know what I was going through. I had no idea. I didn't know it. But now I said, okay, I want to create a channel. When I help others, they're obviously going to go through what I went through, but it will not only be me, but it'll be S&D family members also that could answer these questions. You know what I'm saying? That can be here. Oh, I could say, oh, this is what that is, Owen. This is what that is. This is what you do. This is da-da-da-da, like I'm doing right now. So you guys are not out there just wondering, lost, and nobody to ask any questions of. So you're welcome, sir. You still there?
Yeah, I just no, I'm just again, I'm just taking in all you've said, and I just have this tremendous feeling of gratitude. I know I've said thank you probably 4 or 5 times to you tonight so far, and I sometimes just think it almost doesn't feel enough.
No, I appreciate it, and I could feel it. It's your words. I could just hear it how you're talking. I understand. I could feel it, and I will always be appreciative. And that's what drives me. That's what keeps me going, keep me helping other people. Exactly what I'm doing and feeling from you now. This is what keeps me doing it. Because I want you guys all to feel this. I want you guys to feel what it's like to break that thing and then create a business and use that thing that you escaped. That's what you're gonna use what you escaped from when you start your business.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I don't have anything else I can really add at the moment. I do feel like a huge weight is lifted from me. So
Okay.
I'll like I said, I'll leave now, and I mean, I'll still be in the live if you continue going, but I'll let
Oh
you.
no, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm tired. I'm about to wrap it up anyway, man. But thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Thank you, LJ. Again,
All
thank
right.
you so much.
Take it easy. See, certain things happen for a reason. Certain things happen for a reason. I'm here for all the S&D family members that are going through this particular you did the hard part of becoming debt free, which is no easy task to do. Now the next step is to break the 40-hour work week. For me, which was forced upon me, that I didn't work for a year. Well, I had a 6-figure job, okay, to make sure, and then so I saved a lot of money within that year I was working with no debt. So I was able to save a lot of money. So, but I didn't plan on not working for a year. It just happened to be that way. But it took me a year to break the 40-hour work week program. It took me a year. The first month or two, I was panicking. I was just like I was just like I was just like what's the name? No, not what's the name on here, but I was thinking of another person. God, what was his name? He had a good example too. Oh, what was his name? It was just he was talking just like Owen too. Anyway, we'll stick with Owen. It's everybody goes through this panic of I just remember I'm like, what am I gonna do? Am I ever gonna make 6 figures again? Nobody's hiring me. I'm old. I'm old. My age is getting up there. Damn, my voice is getting changed. I'm gonna get out of here. My voice is getting dry. But you guys, thank you everybody for joining. Appreciate all of you. Soon to Rise, Omanike, thank you very much. Cosmic, Owen, thank you for jumping up. Dave R, Pop from Uptown. Who else came in here? Let's see. I know somebody came in here earlier. Dark Phobia. My email is savingsminusdebt@gmail.com. Savingsminusdebt. And if this video helps you out, send me a donation. Savingsminusdebt at what is that dang thing? Barely even use that. What's a CashApp? Yeah, CashApp. SavingsMinusDebt at CashApp. SavingsMinusDebt at the CashApp. On my CashApp. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Later.